Hamilton here with salestipaday.com, and today I'm going to be talking about a LinkedIn hack that will show you the secret to get 5 times more responses from your prospects. And the other nice thing about this is it's going to show you how to get the sale 60% of the time compared to your competition. So if you follow this process, literally, you are going to succeed. And I'll walk through it and show you what I'm talking about here. So here's what I'm going to show you today. So I'm going to show you how to get 5 times greater responses from your LinkedIn prospects that you're trying to nurture along. And then I'm going to show you how to increase the likelihood that 60% of these LinkedIn prospects will buy from you when they are looking or when they're ready to buy. And I'm also going to show you how to identify your ideal prospect to go after. So you're going to have already prospects that you're connected to, but I'm going to show you also a way to identify or laser focus on finding the proper prospects that you want to go after. I'm going to show you how to put your LinkedIn lead nurturing process into autopilot. So basically a little bit of work up front and you set it and forget it, and it just keeps going and going and going. And then I'm going to show you how to reduce the time it takes for your LinkedIn lead nurturing to basically, I'm going to show you how to reduce that like 30-fold by putting it on this autopilot and showing you what you have to do. So first thing I'm going to do, this is a couple of pieces of information that come directly from LinkedIn, and it was a white paper that they wrote. But basically, sellers who reach out to prospects with relevant insight about their business are nearly 5 times more likely to get a response than sellers that reach out cold. So literally, if you're providing value on an ongoing basis to people, putting out information, sending them information, you get 5 times more likely response from that person. So think about it this way, is that if you just pick up the phone and call someone, let's say you're going after a VP of sales in an organization, pick up the phone and call them, your success rate is going to be pretty minimal. If you're sending information to that person on a consistent basis that provides value to them and shows that you can provide value, when you pick up the phone and call them, they're going to know who you are, and chances are they're going to take your call. So you get 5 times more likely. Then basically, which is really cool. In addition, research shows that 6 out of 10 B2B buyers choose the vendor who provides the best mix of content at each stage of their purchasing process. So if you're continually sending information out to these prospects that you have, once they start getting into that buy phase, chances are they've seen the stuff that you do and know what you can do, but you'll be able to engage with them and they'll start telling you, hey, here's what we're looking at, here's what we're doing, and you've got other information that you can send out to these people. The other thing too, nearly 64% of that they appreciate hearing from salespeople who provide knowledge or insights about their business. So literally, if you're providing information to people on a consistent basis, 64, basically 2/3 of prospects enjoy or like hearing from you because it makes their life easier as well. So I'm going to show you how my LinkedIn autopilot prospecting nurturing process, I'm going to show this to you today. And how I do this, it's simple. Took me a while to figure this one out, but once I got it going, it worked really well. So before we get into this, I'm going to talk to you just a little bit about LinkedIn. So first of all, what you want to do is you want to define your target prospects, who you're going to go after. And how you do this in the new version of LinkedIn is when you go into LinkedIn on the main page up at the top, there's a search bar. Put your cursor in there and basically the drop-down menu comes up. And then down at the very bottom, it says search for people with filters. Make sure you use this. Now, why this is important is if you're using a free account, you only get so many searches a month to find people to connect with or that could be prospects. If you have a paid for account, it's unlimited. You can see it all the time. But the more fine-tuned you get this prospect list, the better off you're going to be finding the ideal client here. Now, when you click on that, it brings up a search page here. And on the right-hand side, there's a whole bunch of filters that you can do. So there's connections, keywords, contacts, or connections of locations, current companies, past companies, industries, profile language. I think there's a couple more that are under that as well. This is where you want to fine-tune some of this stuff. So in this case, I'm looking for controllers at a first and second level in Calgary, where I live, in the oil and energy sector because that's a market that I go after. So if you take a look on my search bar here over in the filter results on the right hand side, I've got first and second. Under the keywords, under title, I've got controller. If you go down, it says Calgary, Canada area. Below that, in the industry, it will say oil and energy. And I click on that, and I got 205 results. As you can see, the first 5 people that show up here are first level connections for me. So I'm hoping that you're actually already connected to some of your prospects in LinkedIn and you kind of know what your market is, but this helps further fine tune this marketplace. Now, when you're connected with someone, one thing I want you to be aware of is you can find their phone number and email and relative contact information on the right hand side. So when you go to someone's profile on the right hand side, upper right hand corner, there's a drop down menu. Click on that. It'll show you the phone number. It'll show you the email. I'm protecting my buddy Mike Smiley's identity here by covering up this stuff. This will become relevant in a little bit, but just know that that's where you find this information. Now, here's the other thing, is that in this case, I'm only connected to 5 people that are controllers in the oil and energy space in Calgary that are controllers. There's a whole bunch more. So in the second level, I could even choose third level if I wanted to over on the right hand side, but I'm going to look second level here. Shows that there's another 197 people that fall into that marketplace, right? Under controller. So what am I going to do? I want to basically connect with this person. So Christine here is the first person. What I would do is I would hit connect. And then what happens when you hit connect, you can send a connection request off by hitting that send now button. Don't do that, whatever you do, because chances are people won't connect with you. What you want to do is you want to add a note into this. And then when you click on that option, you get to customize this. Now, in this, include a personal message. Put the person's first name and then put something in there as to why you want to connect with them. So in this case, I would say, hey, I work with a lot of controllers in the oil and energy space. I always like networking with like-minded individuals. Was hoping I could connect with you on LinkedIn. Regards, or have a nice day. Regards, Chris. Send invitation. Basically, when someone gets that, it's got the relevance of why you want to connect with them, and you'll get a much better connection rate coming back to you. So, and then you hit send invitation, there you go. So the other thing you want to do though is once someone connects with you, so you got to jump on LinkedIn on a regular basis, but once someone connects with you, send them a thank you for connecting message and tell them that you hope they don't mind that you'll keep in contact. So what happens is if Kristen, they're connected or accepted my connection, I would say, hey, Kristen, thanks for connecting with me. Greatly appreciate it. Hope you don't mind. I like to stay in contact. I don't like things to be a one and done. And expect to hear from me every once in a while, but not that often. Whatever you want to put in there, something like that. Just to put the preface that you're actually going to keep in contact with this person. So remember, this all goes back to originally that if you're providing value and content to people on a consistent basis, then what happens is they will be more likely to engage with you, respond to you. You'll be able to book way more meetings. So that's the first part. So, we've targeted a list. We've got the prospects. You've got how to go after prospects, how to add more prospects to your list. Here's the biggest problem that I find with LinkedIn. It's great for finding people, but there is such a lack of a mechanism for following up with people built into LinkedIn. They used to have it. They took it out. Why? I have no idea. So basically it falls on your plate to create that mechanism to follow up. Here's the solution that I use. It's a platform called Contactually, and Contactually is a client relationship management program that I stumbled upon a couple of years ago. And this program is, in my books, fantastic because it takes a lot of the effort out of staying in contact with people, and I'll get into that right now to show you how this lead nurturing can happen. So one of the things that you do in Contactually, what it does is it takes people and you can import them into your list. You can get a plugin for Outlook and Gmail, where when you send an email, it will bring it in, and these people show up, and you have to put them in as a connection. And so what happens is you get these contacts, and then you put them into what they call buckets. Now, I'll get into this in a couple of seconds. But in this case, I've got my buddy Mike Smiley and I want to add him into Contactually. So here's one of the ways that I can do this. Go to his profile, I get his contact information, I go into Contactually, I hit contacts, and then I add a new contact. And so I put first name, last name, I put their title, I put the company, I put his email address in there. If I have a predefined bucket, and I'll get to buckets in a second, the explanation on that, I can put that in. I put tags in. If I've got addresses, phone numbers, websites, social profiles, whatever, I can put all that information in here. But as a minimum, you need a first name, last name, and an email address to kind of make this work. And then you hit submit, and that person becomes a contact in your platform. Now, here's the other side of this, is buckets. So what happens is when you put someone in, you need to kind of label them with something. And what Contactually does is they create what they call buckets. And in this case, I've created like A, B, C, D buckets. And if you kind of look over to the right-hand side, there's a reminder here. So my A buckets are people that I need to follow up with every kind of 30 days. B, every 60 days. C, every 90 days. D, I just review this occasionally and see if any of these people need to go into C's, B's, A's. But long story short, what happens is Contactually starts to alert me saying, hey, you need to follow up with this person. It's been 30 days. So they put all this guesswork into when was the last time I talked to this person, when was that what did I send them, all this stuff. And it just dumbs it down for you. So one of the things you can do in this case, you could put someone in as a prospect and say, I want to follow up with them every 30 days. So the minute you put them in that bucket, it will say 30 days from now, you know what, you need to follow up with this person. It'll send you a reminder. But instead of doing this one by one, there's a way faster way to do this through LinkedIn. If you go into LinkedIn, across the top bar, there's a little Me button up there. When you click on that, go down to Settings and Privacy. And then as you get into this page, go down and you'll see Getting an Archive of Your Data. And so my suggestion would be you click on that, get fast file only, click on that and say request archive. Within about 10 minutes, LinkedIn's going to send you an email, and basically you click on the link in the email, it takes you back to this page and it says download this information. It's going to send you a bunch of different spreadsheets, but the one you want to get in there is the contact spreadsheet. Here's what it is. You get first name, last name, email address, company, position, and basically when you connect it with that person. My suggestion would be filter this, sort on their position, and then start pulling out the people that you want. So it might be, controllers, vice presidents of finance, CEOs, whatever it is that you got, right? Start kind of tagging those people. Go through and maybe pick potential other prospects that you want out of this list. And then what happens is all the others, just remove them. If it's not going to fall within your nurturing process, remove them and then add them to the bucket. And you have to add a bucket column in here as well, by the way, because you're going to import this list into Contactually. That bucket column is you name the bucket whatever you want. So it could be prospects, could be controller prospects, vice president of finance prospects, real estate prospects, whatever it is in your market, whatever you want to call them. And you put that column in, and then what you do is beside each one of those names, you put the name of that bucket in there. And then what happens is you'll end up importing this into Contactually. So how you do this is you go back in, hit contacts, over on the right-hand side, you're going to see this import. When you click import, basically it's going to pull up a file, import a file. You get to map the different columns to that, and then you just import it in. It's simple. That if you do it that way, I'll bet you it'd take you less than 30 minutes to create a defined prospect list, obviously. So here I'm going to show you a couple of follow-up methods that Contactually does, just so you can nurture along. So the first follow-up method is, like I say, every 30 days, you, in the dashboard, get a list of the people that you're supposed to be following up with. So it says, you haven't followed up with this person when, whatever dates, and then you can see some of the different dates here and stuff like that, because I've got them on different buckets and different things. Then what you do is you click follow up. And so in this case, I got Stephen Ibbotson. I hit follow up. It brings up a thing like this. And I can then type a message into Steve, whatever I want to send him as well. An easier way to do this is you can add email templates. So you can create your own templates, and then you can pick a template and load it into here. And in templates, all you got to do is there's a template section in Contactually along the top menu. You click on that, and then what you do is you click Create Email Template. When you click that, it brings up a template box. So you put your name in, you put the goal in, what message, you put your subject in, you put all your data in here. You can add an attachment in here. If you have a default signature that you set up in here, you can click it, put it in there, unclick it if you want to put a different one in, and then you just basically click Save. That creates an email message. Another thing that's really cool is Contactually has a whole bucket load of email templates that they've already created for you that you can use. So when you click on Add from a library, what you can do is you can go through and they have all these different email templates that you can use. So it's really cool. They've tested these and a lot of them work and everything like that. So it's really cool way to add templates in or put them into your library for you as well. So that's one follow-up method. Here's the one that I love that literally is the set it and forget it. This is follow-up method number 2. You can create a program. So along the top bar, you see program up here. Create a program, and then what you can do is click whatever one you want or create a new program. If you're going to edit it, you can click on these and it will bring it up and allow you to edit it. So in this case, what I do is when I add someone to a program in Contactually, it's really easy to do. All you do is you click on them, you can take them and say add to this program and it'll do. I build a whole bunch of steps in here. So the first thing I do was I add them to, so this is a personal contact, new contact follow-up. What I do is when I put them into this, there's 13 steps. It waits for 2 days and then it sends a message that I built, which is a bootcamp template via my Google account. The next one is it waits 30 days and it sends another templated email that I put together. Waits 30 days, does the same. Waits 30 days, does the same. All these are variable. You can put lots of different steps in. One of the things you do is you can put the dates in. It could be 1 day, 2 days, 20 days, 90 days, 100 days, whatever it is. You can send a message. You can say pick up the phone, trigger different things. I could put templates in. I could put the dates or times that I want them to come, which account, if I got more than one email account attached in here. I could put, I can also track, did they open the email? Did they click on any links? So I can see what's going on with that as well. I could put reminders in here. So basically, long story short, as you know, I could do a whole bunch of different things to create steps in my process. The easiest one though is send an email, wait 30 days, send an email, wait 30 days, send an email, wait 30 days. And every email that you send out, make sure it's relevant and has content and pieces of information in it that your prospect is going to find relevant. So long story short is LinkedIn says, add valuable insights to people. Send them valuable insights. And what are valuable insights? In my book, valuable insights are things like webinars, webinar recordings, stuff like that. You can send people white papers that your company may have produced. If you're putting on an event, you can also send one-offs and send events to people or event notices to people. You can send people blog posts, copies of blog posts. Hey, here's a link that I think you might like on a blog post that does this sort of thing or shows this. Lots of people in your market space find this valuable. Content that you may have on your website or whatever you've created, PowerPoints, slide shares, whatever it is. Videos, anything that has value, can educate, provides value for your clients. I think any of those things, you can build emails around them, put them into a program, and let them run out. So with that said, I just want to show you a really quick return on investment. Let's say you have 500 contacts or prospects that you're looking at, and let's take a look at it over a 6-month period. So my guess is that if you're sending emails out to your clients, in order to kind of do that, if you're going to send 500, it's going to take you about 5 minutes, probably 2 to 5 minutes each time. Let's just say 5 minutes, right? So that's going to be about 2,500 minutes or 42 hours a month. So basically, you're chewing up a quarter of your time just sending out these emails. Now, that's assuming you're sitting at the desk and maybe you're copy, paste, send email, copy, paste, send email. We know there's bio breaks. We know there's lunch breaks. There's no time you goof off because you get bored doing this. I don't think anyone can do that many emails straight and keep a simple, sane mind. So I'm being realistic at 42 hours a month. if you look at this over a 6 month period, you're talking literally, you know, 252 hours over a 6 month period just to do something like this. With Contactually, if you go one by one and put like 500 people in, you know, I'm going to guess it's going to take you about 8 hours to input that list. I think if you do it the faster way, where you download your contacts and start adding them into your list and bucketing them, then, you know, I think it's going to take you pretty much 30 minutes, maybe an hour tops to do something like that. If you have clients outside of it, when you attach your email account, it will look through your email and start bringing those people in. So you can actually add those people onto your list as well. I say, you know, it's going to take you 5 minutes to kind of create and draft an email, maybe 10 minutes, but let's say 5 minutes. And let's say you do 6 emails with some valuable content that you're going to send to your clients over about a 6 month period. There's about 30 minutes in total. So worst case scenario, I'm saying it's about 8 hours, 8.5 hours to do this. Realistically, you know, I say it would take you less than 2 hours to actually do this, but let's use 8.5 hours. So 252 hours versus 8.5 hours. So what I'm telling you right now is doing it this way is 30 times more effective. You're nurturing people along on a regular, consistent basis. And on top of it, you're saving yourself a lot of time, and you are going to book way more meetings by doing something like this. So the time that you spend, that you would have spent sending emails, you know, a quarter of your month, now you've got freed up for actually, you know, face-to-face selling time and making money. Let's see the results too. So let's say, you know, 500 connections. If you were to just pick up the phone and start dialing into these people, cold calling basically has about a 5.5% to a 2% success rate. So that means you're going to book anywhere from kind of 2 to 10 meetings. If you're sending something out to 500 contacts and you're getting like a tenfold or a 5-time better success rate against that 2%, means you're getting 10%, which means you're going to book about 50 meetings. Now, the reason why I say book is that in these emails, when you send them out, make sure that you have a call to action. So you're providing some value, saying, here's, you know, hey, I thought this might be of interest. It shows you how to reduce costs or increase revenues, da 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 da. Hey, if you want to learn more, would love to get a meeting with you. Just reply and let me know what time works for you. There's your call to action. Just reply, let me know what time works for you, and we'll get together. That's how you're going to book meetings automatically through something like this. So here's some tips, just really quick on doing this process. As I say, once you build these emails out, you put them into Contactually. It's a set it, forget it. You know, add a call to action to each of these emails. The other thing too is, you know, pick a percentage of your list that you want to follow up with each month. So if you've got, you know, 500 contacts, say, you know, every month I'm going to follow up with 10%. That's 50. You know, it's doable over 20 days. That's, you're talking like 2 to 3 a day. Just pick up the phone and call. What I would do though is I would wait until like 2 or 3 months after you start this process. And the reason being is that people start to see this stuff on a fairly consistent basis. So they start to see value from you. So they'll know who you are once you start reaching out. So basically follow up with these people on a monthly basis, pick a certain percentage, you'll get way more meetings. At a minimum, start to build out a 3-month email follow-up program in Contactually. And then what happens is you can always go back, build another email, tack it on again. So you can add to that program, you can edit it and keep adding to that program and keep this thing going on a consistent basis. Put a process in place to continually connect with people on LinkedIn, and then take those people and put them into Contactually and put them into that program, and that starts them at the beginning of that program and just starts walking through that as well. So once again, one thing I didn't put in here is, by the way, also create a process that you are going to literally reach out and connect with people on LinkedIn on a monthly basis. And like I say, add the new LinkedIn connections to the email program. So here is something that I'm going to offer you. Contactually does cost money. It's roughly between kind of $50 and $75 a month. You will more than make that back if you follow the process that I'm saying here. In fact, actually, the setup that I have in the programs with a bunch of different things that I do literally gives me about 160 to 200 additional hours of productivity each month. So, you know, if you do the math against how much I make, the return on investment on this program is fantastic. So I'll tell you what, why don't you do a 14-day free trial? This is an affiliate link, so I do want to tell you, if you go through with the program, I will get paid on this, but I think the value that I provided to you today is well worth that. So go to www.contactually.com/invite/Chris H. And that way you'll be able to try Contactually and understand how this platform works and what it will do for you. It has been a game changer for me. I think anybody who is, anybody who is any kind of sales role, business development role, business owner, whatever it is, this is a game changer for you and is so simple and easy to use. The other thing that's great is when you sign up for this free trial, the people from Contactually reach out to you and walk you through the process so you feel comfortable with it, and it becomes super simple to use. I'll tell you what, if we're not connected on LinkedIn, connect with me. You can look up Chris Hamilton in Calgary. I should be the first person that shows up there. And as always, if you have any questions, reach out to me, chris@salestipaday.com. Or if you're in North America, give me a shout on my cell phone, 403-630-1243. I really hope you take me up on this offer. Like I say, it's been a game changer for me. It has generated a lot of income for me and taken care of a lot of the follow-up process and lead nurturing that I have to do. Have yourself a super day. Appreciate it, and happy selling.